She runs Mext.app Metaverse, and she got an amazing story. She got a PhD from École Centrale de Lyon. She has an MBA in marketing and management, more than 25 years experience in developing businesses, has a semiconductor background, so electronic engineering. And now her newest venture is basically she draws from her 25 years experience running international businesses. So welcome to the show, Hanene.
Thank you, Sebastian, for having me.
I asked you to join our show. I was researching for interesting guests, and I saw on your profile the Metaverse, and this is a topic which is all around at the moment, and there's a lot of myth and a lot of hype. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hype. Not many people really know what is behind. So I thought, hey, this might be an interesting guest for our show. So we'll talk about your business in a second. Maybe you can talk a bit about your interesting career, your interesting story. And then we talk about Mext, of course.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right about the metaverse. It's really the big hype. But this word started with Facebook announcement. Means that we started our project even before in 2019. And we said that anyway, those gamers are attracting this young generation. And they are really, impressive how much they can help them to focus, help them on what they are doing. And I said it would be good that if we can have a professional tool, a professional platform to help this young generation in their professional life. Okay. And this is how we started. And of course, gaming, it's about metaverse because they are in their metaverse. They are in this 3D space where they can interact together, where they can have, of course, fighting when it's gaming. But we thought about working together in this virtual space. This is how our project, started. And after the announcement of Facebook, we use this metaverse, let's say, marketing word to present our project, how this started. The other thing, you presented everything about my career. I started in business and marketing in big companies like ST, Philips, then Atmel. And I had my first experience with the startups in 2010 when I started with the Starship, a startup that we already sold to Safran. And now it's part of Idemia. And in this, let's say 20 years, I noticed that many things are changing when it comes to business development. Means this young generation is taking more and more decisions based on social media, meeting people based on social media. The behavior of the young generation is different than what my generation, where we had to travel to meet people, we had to see ourselves face to face, to trust you, I need to see you. This is our generation. Yeah. If you look at your generation too. But if you look at my children, I mean, it was amazing. I was in my kitchen and my son started to tell me, oh, my friend in China, he did this. And I said, yeah, you went to China when you have age. How really you have this friend in China since this period? He told me, no, it's in gaming. He's part of my team and we won together many gamers and we are together. I said, oh, it's not a friend. You have never seen him. He told me, and how many times you saw your friend's mom? Of course, it was a surprise to see. And you can develop friendship, you can develop a trust, even if you have never met, people. This is the new things that we learned from social media. And this is why I told myself, of course, if we can use those tools, those gaming tools in terms of interactivity, meeting people in business, developing your business and avoiding traveling a lot like I did. When you travel, every time you have 100 kilogram carbon dioxide when you take your flight to travel to China or somewhere. And this is how we started. And what we thought very important, that the beauty of digital, you can have all the interactions. We use those interactions to have more intelligent system and learn from digital to give insights. And this is how we introduce it, the matchmaking to the metaverse, means learning about people, organization, interactions, and give business insight to companies to help them, to develop their business. This is how we created this B2B metaverse that we started with must, because we consider that is a must for the future. Means this is how we started our project.
Interesting name.
Yeah. And then we changed the name Mext Metaverse Extender. First, because it's our strategy. We wanted to give any company the opportunity to enter the metaverse. And this tool, you can have it, you have a trial, you can start to build your metaverse company with really very few skills. Means you don't need, it's like a website, you don't need a lot of skills, to make it happen. And also we organized many events to show and program to show what is the metaverse, the impact of the business, how it can help your business. And, also for SEO purpose, because must is too much English, it means a lot of things. It's very difficult to find us on Google. When you Google must, you have a lot of must. When you Google Mext, it's easier in terms of SEO. And this is our story.
Interesting story. I can completely relate. I also have 2 kids and they have virtual friends, but I have to admit, I also have virtual friends now, which I never met in person. Yeah, especially now through the pandemic, meeting so many interesting people via this podcast show, via virtual events. And it really changed our lives. Yeah. When I look back at my life, I grew up in a former communist country and we didn't even have a telephone at home. Yeah. So when I wanted to talk to someone, I literally had to go through the door and knock on the door and talk to these people, which in the end was also great for building relationships.
Yeah.
You had much closer relationships, and now you have a wider range of people, of course, virtual people in China you play games with, but we all adapt and we all take the new world in and use it as most as we can. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is not to stop what is good, means it's not to stop all this face-to-face relationship when you can afford it. The idea is to be more open-minded and to take advantage of, if you cannot travel, you can have relationship with people even if you cannot travel or you don't have money to travel. It is also more inclusive, more equal, and more green.
Exactly. In terms of climate issues, completely agree. I also see this in the event industry a lot. In the past, we had big events in big exhibition halls, for example, and now many of them moved virtual and they scaled up. They scaled up a lot. And of course, they reach more people with the virtual event and it's cheaper. People don't need to travel anymore, spend time on planes, invest in hotel and so on, and still have the content and the different kind of connection to virtual people. It would be interesting to see companies like yours going into this event business, where you have virtual events in a kind of metaverse type of room where you interact with people differently.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How do you think this will develop in the future?
Yeah, I think those virtual places that we are creating with different kind of interactivity, when Mext is the place to have this B2B connections, this B2B events, this B2B interactivity, you have stands, you have products, you have digital twins that you can, play with and change. You have your avatar to communicate. Meaning this is the interactivity that we selected for the place, the places that we are building is more focused B2B. And of course, business events and the expo is fundamental to develop business. Meaning it's part of our business development business development strategy for any company. And I think we have now this kind of place where you come, you have your stand, and this stand is permanent. It's your metaverse and will help you, to keep this permanent relationship with your customer. It's not only about 3 days a year, it's having a place where your customer can show, but also can contact you, discuss with you, continue also those physical event relationship. And this is also one of the applications that and the use case that we put in place in Mext B2B Metaverse.
So
because I do believe that it's more and more important. I mean, if I look at Mext today, we have 13 more. We are about to have 14K members since 2022. We started in January 22. We have 12. We conducted more than 40 virtual events inside the metaverse. We have other metaverses like MFC, Metaverse Fashion Council. They also organize this metaverse, their metaverse for their industry, for the fashion industry, plus events. And it's very successful. They have always around 5,000 visits to those events. You know, just imagine 5,000 visits. It's huge. It's almost, you know, the big events that you know in Germany. And I do believe that we will need those big events in person where we can meet, celebrate, like gaming, by the way. The gaming industry, they are playing every day, and they have those big physical events where they meet once a year to celebrate, to do some shows, to meet each other. I mean, this is complementary to those physical events. But with such kind, with Mext, the platform, you will have this opportunity to deal with your business, to organize events every day. You don't need, I mean, when it is good for your business to do it, you can organize it inside the metaverse or attend other events inside the metaverse. You don't need to wait 1 year to organize yourself for one event.
So we should have done this interview in the metaverse, basically, yeah?
Exactly. I will be happy. Next one, let's organize one, yeah. In the metaverse.
Amazing. So how do you manage all this? Creating all these companies, having kids, dealing with new technology. I mean, it's a topic which costs a lot of energy. And what kind of performance habits, what kind of routines you got in place to stay on top every day?
Too much work. This is for sure hard work every day. I'm blessed and lucky that now my children are 25 and 20. And we did this project together. They joined me for this challenge, and I'm working with them every day. I'm blessed. This is make my life even give me more energy. They are giving me more energy. I'm learning a lot from them, and they are helping me a lot, in this venture, because this is something that we wanted to do, together. Of course, they have both, by the way, different. One is more in video, more in marketing, and the other one is more in development. He's a developer. But I think this has helped, we did this project together, and really I'm happy to manage it. This is giving me, let's say, more. But at the same time, you are right. It's a lot of work. When you are a CEO and a founder of a startup, means you need to handle everything by yourself almost, because you don't have a lot of money to manage. You need to convince investor. You need to hire people. You need to think about finance. You need also to be always ready for to solve the problems. And at the same time, you need to have this vision. Vision is very important, and you need to make some pivot when is required. Means your brain, your hands, your feelings, everything is 100% on the project for at least 5 years. And this is very, very consuming. But at the same time, I'm really blessed and happy to be able to conduct such a big project, and to be able, we have a lot of success. We have more and more participants, more and more company joining. And I see this new generation, the Z generation participating more and more to our platform, and pushing their own companies to join this new type of platform.
Yeah, you need to have a kind of movement, right? And
Exactly.
get this younger generation really hooked up. When you look back, running a startup now versus your first startup many years ago or decades ago, basically, what do you think is different nowadays?
My first startup was with my mentor. It's different. I have not had the same role. I have not been the CEO. I wasn't the CEO of this company. I was more in in the business role, means I developed the business, but I was not the CEO. Is different. What I can say that in my career, I had 3 steps. I had the first step when I started in big companies. When you are in big companies, the challenges are different. Means you are more in position to follow up the company strategy and to execute correctly the company marketing plan. Okay. It means you are more you need to be creative, of course, but how to find solutions, to progress in your business. When it is a startup, when we started our first startup, my first experience in startup was about starting everything from zero. You find yourself alone. You don't have product. You have only ideas, and you have a mentor that you love and you trust him, and you need to succeed. But you don't have the product. You need, to think about how to introduce this product to the market. Means here you start to be creative, not only on level how to better execute, but how to find the routes, how to find the solutions, to promote your product, and to think about everything about the product itself, how to promote it, the positioning, the strategy, people that you need to address, priority, partnerships. Okay. It starts to be more interesting. When you start your own startup alone, means you are the main leader, is another step. You need to think about everything. You need to be, exactly. You need to be very, very creative, for sure. But you need also to be very solid person. Means in terms of mental, you need really to be very, very strong.
Yeah, and toughness. Yeah,
exactly. You need to be very strong because you are the one that everybody see, and if they wanted to be inspired, they wanted to be encouraged, they wanted to have energy from you. Okay, and as soon as something happened, everybody look at you to see if you are controlling completely the situation or not. This is the third. And it's a big job because you need to stay always, hearing from everybody, taking every day many decisions, not one decision, and at the same, keeping to be strong. And this is very important also to be able to drive, this success. Staying strong, focused, creative, too much from one person, isn't it? Means
there has to be a point where you have to start getting other people in the board, to trusting, delegating responsibilities. This is something every entrepreneur needs to learn at a certain point. And many of us, I also started on my own, wearing many hats, doing every kind of activity. But then there comes a point where you need to delegate. You need to hire your first employees. Otherwise, you will not grow and you will burn out. You can only sustain this for a certain point of time.
Yeah, exactly. And you need, when we started in 2020, I had to hire people without even seeing them because it was COVID. We hired a team of developers, marketing, communication, partnership, customers that you have never seen them. Means that just you cannot, because we had been confined, and I had to hire all those guys that I'm happy today to have because they are doing a great job. But I met them later when I already signed their contract and worked with them 6 months and sometimes 1 year.
I did the same. I have a virtual team, people on a different continent I never personally met, but it's working fantastically.
Fantastic.
I'm also
the worry. I told you last time I discussed with one of my friends who is the CEO of another company. I said, okay, I hired them. I'm happy. But if my fear, if I put them in the same place now, do you think that it will work? This is the bigger question. This is the bigger question now.
Yeah, it's a lot of development work, but I mean, this pandemic, as traumatic it was for many people, it opened a lot of doors in terms of virtual working, hiring people from all over the world, which has been amazing. I'm also a business angel, and I did investments with companies where I never met the founders physically, only on Zoom. In fact, until now, there are one or two people I still have to meet. But we have a very good relationship on virtual, and it's working. Yeah. So this changed our lives and it opened a lot of doors, which is amazing. And now with platforms like the Metaverse and your services, it gives even more opportunities to other companies and individuals. So what is a typical client of yours? So whoever is listening to this show, how would they get into your system? And I'm asking this also because I think this is very interesting. I would like to try this at some point.
Yeah, means we have different, our objective, our mission is clear. We want to help companies, whatever their industry, to enter the metaverse, to prepare themselves to the metaverse. This is why when we developed our platform, it's easy to use, it's easy to integrate. The metaverse will be tomorrow like the website that you have today.
Yeah.
This is, everybody will have their own Web3, their own 3D website, and they can connect it to other websites. And of course, it's not only you have your 2D website, you will have this 3D website connected to other websites that you desire to connect or other organization, and you can communicate, they can communicate, you can exchange. This is the future. And of course, we built this platform to make sure that when you come, you can build your own, you can integrate what you develop, what you buy from us on your website. You can also, if you have few euros, you can start. If you have a bigger project, you can also start. The idea is to make it easy for any company to enter this new era to the metaverse, and step by step. You don't have immediately to decide your strategy and to spend a lot. Just come, just start, just exchange. And we made this Mext B2B Metaverse to help people to learn this learning curve, to test, to participate, to see the limitations, and to prepare themselves step by step. Okay, this is how, and this is worked very well. Because people, they start as a visitor, they attend some events in the metaverse, then they speak in the metaverse, and as soon as they started to speak, we will offer them to have a place inside the metaverse that they can manage by themselves. It means they have their own interface and they can manage this. And of course, they start to manage this place, and then step by step, they build their strategy. They build their metaverse, and of course, they do it with us because we offer them this opportunity to enter the metaverse. This is how we started. We have three strong communities, The community of high tech, this is what we built because we are all coming from semiconductor, from electronics, from software, means the founders are high tech professionals. And we have many connections. We built this community for high tech, and we put a program, and we attracted company like ST, Thales, many companies around. The second community is the food community, the food industry community, because it was the pandemic, and they also need other tools, and then they move it also to the metaverse. And the third community is the fashion community. This industry is moving a lot because digital, they help them to decrease, the cost by having everything in digital, or the model, or all what they are trying, they're spending a lot of time trying a lot of things in their creation process. Now they don't need to, do a lot of waste just to have a model. Okay, they can do it by digital and then decide to execute a prototype, maybe modify a little bit the prototype and go to the final product. What is enormous cost. And also they can perform a lot of tests inside the metaverse. And also they can make NFT all their creation and protect their creation. This means the metaverse for them really is a good way to monetize, to decrease costs, the benefit is a lot. This is why they are the first maybe pushing and the most active community, the fashion community in this area. They are very creative. They are always ahead, by the way, than everybody. Yeah.
Interesting. So the fashion community is patient, I guess, and
even in the creation process, instead of creating, they have the creation process instead of creating. They are very prototype way. Instead of creating 10 prototypes, they will do it in digital and create a lot of prototypes, test them with the community, display them, test them, share them, and then decide step by step to one prototype and then just make it. This is the prototyping process, but also in making NFT from their creation. The most difficult thing for artists is to show their art. If you don't protect your art, it could be stolen. I mean, if you put it on internet and everybody can read it, can see it, it will be copied immediately.
Yeah.
With metaverse and blockchain, they can display and protect, sign their design, and then they can prove that this is their design. You don't need to be part of a big organization now with this decentralization, with this blockchain. You don't need to be an artist, a rich artist, or an artist belonging to a big organization to protect yourself. This is a huge difference, for artists.
Interesting. Yeah, I just interviewed an entrepreneur. He's running a company helping ecologically friendly organization, helping them to basically document the whole supply chain with the blockchain to really fight greenwashing. Yeah, because a lot of big companies, we are ecologically friendly and everything is 100% going the right way. But then it's very hard to really trace the whole supply chain down to the smallest supplier, because you don't know who's supplying what when you run a large organization. But when you have a blockchain technology on a distributed systems, then it's not possible to fake these certificates. And the same in the metaverse. It's a very interesting topic. And once we finish this interview, please don't hang up. I want to talk to you about this a little bit further. So what is on the horizon? If you would try to predict the next 5 years, what big movements do you see happening?
Yeah, I think the next 5 years, we will see the current websites, 2D websites migrating to 3D websites. Means Web3 will come quicker than we think. This is my expectation, and of course we are prepared to handle this. Means to make every company ready to Web3, to have their website in 3D, but not only the 3D for 3D. Means not only to have this beautiful 3D but with interactivity, how they can give new customer experiences to their customers. Means you have your 3D, but this 3D will give your customer new customer experiences and will connect you to other 3D, to your partner, to your customer, to your suppliers. Means you will have your metaverse part of a more global and a more big metaverse. And this is really how the web, how the internet is going.
Interesting. I mean, there's so much on the horizon, and I'm sure we will definitely stay in touch and need to talk again to see these developments, which are breathtaking. I have a tech background. I studied electro engineering, actually, and I spent the last 25 years in tech, seeing how this really develops now and what new services and new ways of collaborating on the horizon. It's very interesting.
Yeah. And by the way, Sebastian, if you wanted to join the B2B Metaverse to have all your events, you can join us anytime. It's really for free. You can organize your your events, means like what you are doing with me. It will be maybe between avatar or between us, with having this space that we can share, and that we can do more maybe activity. You will have your stand, your place. You can organize your meeting. We'll be always happy to have you with us, and to onboard you with your team in the B2B metaverse.
Amazing. I will definitely come back to this. Thank you.
I'm really happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for
your time today. It was amazing exchanging these ideas and learning about the metaverse. And I'm sure there will be a lot of interest. And we have to see, and we definitely meet next in a different world, so to speak.
Yeah, and also I will not forget it. I will send you, to make you join us and experience the B2B metaverse. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for this opportunity.
Thanks, Hanene.